Thanks for joining us on Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged, where the message is always truthful, authentic, and inspiring. For more information on Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged, visit bobbyeandtonilee.com. Now your hosts, Bobbye and Tonilee.
Hello, welcome to Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. My name is Bobbye Brooks. I'll be your host for today. If you're brand new to the program, don't forget to join us online at dailydisciples.org. We're really happy about the fact that you can also watch us. I know you will keep saying this at every show, not just listening to KPRZ 1210 a.m. By the way, at 10 a.m., we'll be moving to 10:30 in May, so just keep that in mind as you're listening to the show. Make a note of that, because if you're driving in the car, or a lot of times we're getting more requests for how do I listen if I'm not in the car? How do I listen to the show live? Well, you can actually just go to kprz.com and do the live stream, or you can download the KPRZ app. And at 10, bam, live streaming Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. But don't forget, you also need to go and check out the Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged videos at the Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged video channel, which you can get through Daily Disciples, okay? I'll talk more about that later. But a couple quick announcements before we jump into today's show. We have some great events coming up that are free. Saturday, May 14th, good friend of ours is she's a founder of Charity Wings Foundation, CharityWings.org. If you have any interest in arts, crafts, music, she's having a big street fair. It's on the campus at Cal State San Marcos, or right around that area in Vista. Free admission. There are going to be booths and vendors. This is great for kids, family, grandparents, you name it, anybody, to come out and really, it's a healing. It's like healing through the arts. There's sewing and scrapbooking and every type of glue. I mean, it's a whole world that, to be honest, Bobbye Brooks is not that familiar with. But it is something that people love. Ceramics, all kinds of stuff. So Saturday, May 14th, go to CharityWings.org. And you can get a $5 wristband, so that the day of the event, when you get in, any place that you visit, so if you go make something, it's free. Otherwise, you might pay a couple bucks here and there. And they're going to have food and music. It's this big old street fair, Saturday, May 14th, called Art Decadence, okay? Also, if you love Southern gospel music, which we don't get much of it around here, don't miss out on two great concerts coming up in April and May. Legacy 5 is coming, and the quartet called Triumphant, Eddie always has to remind me, Triumphant, are coming to two local churches. You can get that information by calling 800-992-0369, 800-992-0369, free admission, all right? And we'll have this all over our social media. Which, by the way, on today's show, I want to talk to us, okay, us Christians. Most of the time, did you know that a lot of people who listen to Christian talk radio are not Christians? I think that is so great, because it's why we have Christian talk radio, is so that people can be evangelized, that we can talk about God and hopefully bring people to know Jesus Christ from listening to Christian talk radio. I have to be honest. Can I be honest with you for a moment? There is a place for conservative political talk. It's called Conservative Talk Radio, and there's lots of them around. And that's where you go and you listen about politics. Christian talk radio, to me, really needs to be about Christ, or at least something to do with Christian life. And even though politics is part of our life right now, I don't want to listen to a Christian station spend all their time talking about politics unless it's designed to do that. So that's one thing about Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. Our ministry of Daily Disciples, we don't spend a lot of time talking, just arguing about politics. I think the better word would be arguing. We all have different opinions. We all have very strong opinions right now about the politics of what's happening between the Republicans and the Democrats and the potential candidates some very strong, emotionally charged opinions of who may or may not get the nomination. So I'm not touching it with a 10-foot pole on the radio show. However, I will absolutely tell you, please be praying. We all need to be praying that our next president is chosen by God. We need a president who will lead this country with godly values. We as Christians know that. So today, however, I'm talking to us as Christians. And the reason I'm saying us as Christians is because sometimes us as Christians tend to put our head in the sand. And there's times whenever Tonilee and I want to talk about things, and we've had some of our friends say, oh, I just turn you off if you start talking about business, or if you talk about media, or if I hear you talk about something I don't want to hear, I just turn you off. And I just think, okay, I'm so glad you're honest with me, first of all, that you just turn us off, because you never know what God's going to say through something that you're not giving yourself a chance to listen to. You know, because everything doesn't have to be quoted by a verse. As a matter of fact, sometimes we Christians throw the Bible around too much, and it turns people off, because we're not here to be overly judgmental and legalistic in everything we do. We're not perfect. We can be Christians, but believe me, we are all saved by grace. So don't turn off something because you think we're going to talk about something you're not interested in. Because today, I will tell you what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about social media. And it's not for the reasons that you may think. A couple of weeks ago, we guest hosted for our big buddy David Spoon, the David Spoon Experience, on every day here at K-Praise from 2 to 4 p.m. Great friend of ours, great guy. And we always have fun sitting in for Dave. And we talked about this digital media addiction issue that we're all addicted to different parts, and one of those being social media. But then there's a lot of us, a lot of you listening right now even, that could care less about Facebook. A lot of people have no idea about social media and don't care to, don't want to. It's something that is very much a part of our lives and needs to be used by us as Christians to reach others who don't know the Lord. So when we kind of turn and say, I'm not going to do that, or I don't want to be a part of that, before we're so quick to say what we will and won't do, all I'm suggesting today is that let's really pray about it, okay? And I'm going to give you some examples as we look at this subject. So I'm just going to tell you straight up, I'm going to talk about social media, not because of any reason except that I believe we're living in a period of time where we need to use whatever tools we can use for good. Did you know there is, and this is a reason a lot of Christians don't want to do Facebook or other social media networks. ISIS and some of the terrorist groups have these underground networks where they're communicating through Facebook and Twitter. And it's been shown how they will communicate in code to other people in their groups using social media. So we oftentimes will go, oh, I don't want to get on that evil Facebook because, you know, everybody evil is on Facebook. And the problem with that thinking is we are not on Facebook to be evil. We're on Facebook or Instagram or maybe some other kind of site because we're putting up something positive for the day. You never know whenever someone's reading Facebook and they just need to see something positive. A picture of a newborn baby or a verse or just something that gives someone else that moment. And I'll tell you what happens when for me, I have it on my phone. So on my phone, I have this Facebook app because I don't go to Facebook ever on my computer. I only use it on the phone, which tells you right there where a lot of our lives are spent. We open the phone And it used to be we just talked on it. Now we read it. As a matter of fact, we were doing an infomercial for a client, and Eddie, the person, didn't have a phone number. So Eddie, in the call to action, said, go to your phone or open your phone. And the client says, you can't say that. I don't have a phone number. And Eddie's response was, I didn't say call. I didn't say go to your phone and call. I said, open your phone. In other words, we open our phone, or we turn on our phone, or we go to our phone to see a website or an app or a post. That's what we do with our phones. Calling on the phone is actually going down as far as usage. I mean, you think about how often you talk on the phone versus how often you look at your phone. Did you know that we spend over 12 hours a day looking at a screen? And think about how few hours a day we as adults really do watch television, okay? So if you're not watching a television screen and you're not looking at a computer screen, what screen are you looking at for the majority of the hours of the day? You're looking at your phone screen. That's what we're doing. And so whether we want to admit it or accept it or whatever, it's the truth. So we need to learn how to engage with other people through that handheld device. And I'm not talking about money, and I'm not talking about business. I'm talking about evangelism. I'm talking about opening the phone, going to an app, and it could be, for example, Daily Disciples devotions, okay? So if you go to the App Store and just keyword Daily Disciples, we come up under devotions. We have a Daily Disciples devotional app. For 99 cents, you can download that app to your phone, and you actually have the entire 365-day devotional right there on your phone. And every day, it opens to that day's app. So we made it that way so that if today is the 14th or tomorrow's the 21st, or if it's June 3rd or whatever day it is, when you open the app, that's the day the app opens up to. Now there's more apps than that out there, but the point is we by our own statistics are noticing that 60% of all of our devotionals are now read on the phone. So go get the app. Get the Daily Disciples devotional app. It's 99 cents. And for 99 cents, you get the entire book of all of our devotions. That's what we're talking about. Use your phone, put something in your mind for good. I do it with Oswald Chambers or other apps. So that's one way that you can take in positive information. When we come back from the break, I want to talk about how you can put out positive information. So instead of just receiving, which most of us do, let's give back, okay? Let's put it out there. And a couple ways you can do that is going to a couple of free events. Before we go to the break, let me just remind you, Saturday, May 14th, Charity Wings, an organization in North County that helps families and children and kids and special needs and all these other events, people that need healing through the arts, having a big festival Saturday, May 14th. 2 Southern Gospel concerts are coming up in April and May. You can get all the information, Legacy 5 and I always want to say Triumphant Quartet is coming. Call 800-992-0369 to get more information. Don't forget, dailydisciples.org is our website. Your Bobbye Tonilee Unplugged here at K-Praise 1210 a.m. is coming. We're right back after this quick break.
Are you ready for a triumphant experience? Then you're ready for Southern Gospel's favorite quartet, Triumphant Quartet. Join us Tuesday, April 26th at First Baptist Church of Pacific Beach for this spirit-filled Southern Gospel concert. It all begins at 7 p.m. and the First Baptist Church at 4747 Soledad Mountain Road, San Diego. No ticket is needed, and doors open at 6. For more information, call 619-442-5941 or visit www.eastcountysoutherngospel.net. This event has open seating. A love offering will be received.
Staring back into your eyes, there is
Welcome back to Bobbye Tonilee Unplugged here at K-Praise 1210 AM. My name is Bobbye Brooks. I'm your host for today's show. You're listening to us here every day at 10 a.m., but I do want to remind you we are switching to 10:30 coming up in May. So not that far away, kind of just a few days away now. We're going to be going to 10:30 on the half hour instead of the top of the hour starting in May. So same show, same Bobbye Tonilee, same name, nothing's changing. We're just moving a half hour later. Now back to today's topic. I was just sharing before the break how we use our phones for everything. I mean, let's face it, our smartphones, we look at screens over 12 hours a day. And most of the time, it's not because we're watching television. In the olden days, like 10 years ago, it was probably television. And then it was probably computer screens, sitting at a desk looking at a computer screen, which we still do, a lot of us, obviously. But the majority of the hours of day spent looking at a screen is our phone or a tablet or something that is called a smart, phone type device. And usually we're doing it because we're reading something. And I want us to start using it as Christians. Use it to give back instead of just receiving. And how do we do that? So I hear this a lot from people. I don't want to be on Facebook. I don't want to be on Twitter. I don't want to do Instagram. I don't know how to do Pinterest. Or they'll go and they'll use it for different things instead of really using it strategically to get the message of the gospel out. Share the message of Christ with someone on Facebook. And you might say, well, how do I do that? Okay, you go to facebook.com. Many of you probably already set up an account at some point in your life. Maybe your grandkid did it for you. But on facebook.com, you're going to have an email and a password to set up a free account. And that's called your friend account, your personal account. And you can invite people to be your friend, and they will invite you to be their friend. That's how it works. And that's just a personal account. Real simple. Put a picture of yourself up, or put a picture of somebody else up. Put a picture of your cat up. It doesn't matter. But your personal page should be something about you personally. It could be a picture of a cross. It could be a verse. It doesn't take much to find a picture online and upload it to your Facebook page. And then, when you can think about it, first of all, go to facebook.com on your phone, right? So open that phone up. Go to facebook.com or go to the App Store. Because on your phone, if you have an iPhone, you have an App Store. If you have a Droid, you've got the Google Store, whatever. I have an iPhone, so I go to the App Store. But you can get the Facebook app downloaded to your phone so that you don't ever have to log in. It just, once you set it up and you set up the login, bam, you push the little Facebook icon and it comes up on your phone. Wow, there it is. There's Facebook. So what do I do about it? Well, most of the time people just read what's going on. Well, post something. So whenever you post it on your phone, in the bottom left, on the bottom right-hand corner, you click a little button and that's going to pull up your profile page. Now, you don't have to do that because at the very top of that Facebook page, it's going to say status. It's going to say status. And that's your little box that you get to put something in. Now, many of you already know how to do this. You can upload a picture or you can write something, whatever it may be. But my message today is, why not use Facebook? Why not try to do something with it where you posted something positive? How about you open your phone when you get up, not driving the car. Let's say you have a Facebook and today you go home, you open up your Facebook, and on your personal page, put a verse. think about your favorite verse and start by saying, my favorite verse is, and it could be John 3:16. And if you want to evangelize, put up John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Put something like that up so that you get to feel like, wow, I don't know who's going to see this. I don't know if anybody's even going to like it, but I'm going to make an effort intentionally every day, or at least a couple times a week, to say something about the Lord on my Facebook page. I mean, that's how we can begin, little by little, to use tools that are out there that's being used for bad. Let's use them for good, okay? So that's Bobbye's message for today. So see, social media is not so bad, and I didn't talk about business. I didn't have to talk about money. You guys know me. I love to talk about business and money, but today let's talk about using these things for evangelizing the gospel. Now don't forget, events, Saturday, May 14th, the Art Decadence Festival. 2 Southern Gospel concerts we do not want you to miss out on. Legacy 5 and Triumphant are coming to San Diego. You can get all the details by calling 800-992-0369. Eddie's going to tell you all about these in the commercials that you're hearing throughout the show. But I just want to make mention of them so you don't forget. And last but not least, the Romans Bible study from Daily Disciples is tonight, okay? Tonight, $20 for 17 weeks. Major Bible study is happening. That detail, because it's last minute, don't worry about it. Just show up. If you need directions, call 800-992-0369, and we'll tell you how to get there and get all the details, all right? God bless. Have a great day. Don't forget, visit us more at dailydisciples.org. Until tomorrow, thanks for listening to Bobbye Tonilee Unplugged. My name is Bobbye Brooks. God bless. Have a great day, and I hope to see you soon.
Thanks for tuning into Bobbye and Tonilee Unplugged. Tune in every day on air and online. For more real life, real answers from Bobbye and Tonilee, subscribe to the Bobbye and Tonilee channel, and for more information, visit bobbyeandtonilee.com.